langer Krieg. Ihr habt tapfer und stolz für euer Vaterland gekämpft. Seid eine besondere Truppe, die ineinander einen...
Hey everyone, Hydrohead here, and this is Usagi Yojimbo, number 2 of The Hidden. This is a new arc, run, whatever you want to call it. I did cover number 1. It's actually pretty good. So, if you're not familiar with Usagi, I honestly think the age group they're targeted at is much younger than me. Probably preteen. It's all very PG rated. Very easy to read. And I wouldn't feel at all worried about letting my kids read this. Even though there's some violence, it's all not that bad. Even when people are dead, it's very, very non-violent for the most part. So, if you haven't read Usagi Yojimbo before, or have seen any of Stan Sakai's stuff, I recommend checking it out. The guy's been around for decades. His art style is very consistent. His writing's always good. Usagi Yojimbo is usually written as a detective-style comic, which is nice. If you like old-school detective Batman where there's actually detecting done, then you'll probably like this. But like I said, it's not for, like, edgy adults or anything like that. It's very much works for a younger generation. I enjoy reading them. I also enjoy reading some very, very, very hardcore stuff, but yeah, these are enjoyable. And plus, I like supporting Stan. So, this series is pretty cool. They're talking it's basically covering the part of Japan's history where, so for a while they allowed Christians in, right? But then they realized that religion was kind of counterproductive to their style of governing, so they outlawed Christianity. And this is taking place in the time when Christians were outlawed and basically being hunted down and killed. They're, of course, calling them Kurishitans, which I find hilarious. And in book 1, when Usagi went through town, he ended up having to, like, step on a cross to prove that he wasn't a Christian. And then the murder that ended up taking place happened to a Christian. So when they were trying to find out information... Well, let's just get into it. All right. So let me go ahead and say that if you haven't been reading this and you're worried about spoilers, I'm going to be giving some stuff away. So dip out now if that's the case. If you don't mind spoilers, don't think you're going to be reading it anytime soon and you just want to listen, hang out. Or if you did read it and you want to see what I thought versus what you thought, check it out. We start off basically right where we left off. They're still going over the corpse of the dead Christian, Kurishitan. He was a, not a Ronin. Alright, anyway. So they know he's a Christian because of his Christian cross, or as they say it, Kurishitan. They're trying to figure out why he could have been killed and what the reasoning behind it is. They know he was killed just a few hours ago. There's nobody around, but they know that they're very close to the southern gate. So they assume that since he's so close to the gates and it looks like he was in a rush and it happened so recently, they could probably go talk to them, find out what happened. That's when we find out that there was some sort of kerfuffle at the gates. But before they can have a chance to investigate it, Chief Inspector Ito arrives. Chief Inspector Ito is portrayed as a very... he's an asshole. He cares more about politics than justice. And our main inspector, whose name I was just literally thinking of. It's going to come back to me. But anyway, our main inspector... Well, our main inspector. He's not the main inspector. He very much cares about justice first, politics second. So when he's telling the chief inspector what's going on here, he fails to mention that it's a Christian soldier. He's just basically telling him that it's... I should really start parking somewhere else so I don't have to keep pausing mid-sentence to let people walk by, especially since people have a tendency to walk up behind my car and just stare in through the back window like they're waiting for me to continue. This show ain't for free. You can catch it on the YouTubes with everybody else. Anyway, they neglect to mention to Ito that he's a Christian and that he might be working with the Agawa clan because they know that would turn it into a political murder, which means Ito would take control of it and instantly shut it down to prevent any sort of scandal from happening. Also, Ito basically blames Ronin because Ronin are essentially disgraced samurai. So most of the higher-ups hate Ronin. Usagi takes offense to this, and it's it's made very clear that Chief Inspector Ito does not like Usagi. But our inspector basically comforts him by saying, well, he doesn't like any Ronin, so don't take it personal. That's when they decide to go ahead and inspect the south gate. There's been a recent guard change, so they don't find the guys. They're pretty certain that they'll be able to find them in at an inn, drinking in, because of what a ruckus was caused last night as the people were chased through. And as they're going to the inn, they do find the guys. They're leaving, and then they get attacked. Usagi and the inspector manage to save them. And this is what I'm talking about, the fight scenes. Like, so you got the sunlight, man. If it isn't one thing, it's another with me. I have serious respect for everybody who makes it through my poor quality videos. So as you can see what I was trying to say about Stan's art is how consistent it is. And the fight scenes, while they are, I guess, fighting with swords and sticks and whatnot, and people are actually dying, it's all very PG. Like, I would have no problem at all letting a kid look at this. Like, look. To mark that they're dead, their tongue's hanging out, and they have little skulls. And they talk pretty passively about corpses, but that's, that's just kind of what you do. So yeah, definitely not super like adult or Marvel-y or anything like that, but very consistent, which is nice. Anyway, after saving the gate guards from being murdered, they push him for information, find out that the guy who was being chased is part of the Agawa clan. They go and talk to the Agawa clan, but because the guy is both a Christian and may have been dealing with smuggled goods, the leader of the Agawa clan is very, very unhelpful, won't give them hardly any information, other than the fact that the guy was supposed to be somewhere else dealing with shipped goods from the black-sailed ships, which are supposed to be the Europeans. We also find out a lot about Japanese culture and history in this, which is kind of cool, like where all the foreigners had to dock their ships when trading during this time period, which is all pretty interesting. Let's introduce you to Igawa. We also find out that our inspector has an item from the Emperor that basically gives him ultimate power over people that are more important than him. God damn it, there's people fucking everywhere. Yes, my door is open. You don't need to fucking stand there and stare at me. Well, this has just been a ruined and terrible review. I feel so bad. I'm not gonna do this again though. But look. That's Jinosuke. He's from some of the older books. He's also a Ronin. He's a badass. But alright, guys. Usagi Yojimbo's good. This particular series is, I think, very good. If you're not reading it, you should check it out. If you can't afford $4 a comic for a 7-issue, I completely understand that. But you can find them online to read. You can find them digitally. Check them out. They're worth a read. Also, support Stan Sakai. Guy's a cool dude. Thanks for muscling through the review. Hell Hydra, baby.